So a lot of people ask me exactly what content marketing is, and so I've decided to put together this comprehensive course explaining everything content marketing is and how it can actually help you with your business. So we're going to go through the actual definition of content marketing, how to develop a strategy, how to figure out what channels that you need to be marketing on as a business, and what types of content marketing to use. This course is put together by a lot of different trainings that I've done over the years, so you'll notice that there aren't any fancy transitions. Some of these are courses, some of these are previous videos. It's kind of a mix-up between all of this information I've had over the years. There aren't going to be any fancy transitions, but if you need to go ahead and skip ahead to a certain section, I'm going to put everything down below in a timeline so you can skip ahead to the different sections that you need. In the meantime, if you have any questions about anything that I've said in the video or need any help with anything, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, but let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so let's talk about content marketing and what exactly content marketing is, because I feel like there's some confusion out there about content marketing and what people should be doing with their business. I believe a lot of people just think it's social media marketing is what they need to be doing for their business, but it's not. It's not just blogging, not just social media. It's a strategic approach to attracting and retaining customers through valuable and consistent content. And the way we are distributing that content may be through a blog, or it may be through social media or a podcast or whatever, but the thing is we are trying to build relationships, and we're not just making sales pitches to everybody that we talk to online, okay? So if you're a business owner, why should you care about content marketing? Why should you actually focus on content marketing? Number one is that ads are losing their power, meaning that the expense is going up much more than the return that you get on investment. I've tried Facebook ads. I tried Facebook ads 3 or 4 years ago. I tried Facebook ads last year. Every time I've tried Facebook ads, they get more and more expensive, and you have to basically be willing to burn a lot of money before you really start seeing anything happening. Or if you really start seeing something happening as far as sales or leads or whatever it is that you're trying to get through ads, okay? Another thing is that since everything happened in 2020, I believe this is the reason that people are craving information and connection, because a lot of people were isolated during that time, and now we are craving that connection that we actually get when we are interacting with people, okay? And the interaction can be through video, it can be through audio, it can be through social media, your content, where you're blogging, but they want that information and connection. Additionally, content marketing actually helps build trust and loyalty. There are different mediums that do that better than others, but content marketing does that, not just posting quotes on social media, okay? So what are the benefits to content marketing? Benefits include boosting your brand's reputation, getting found online via SEO, okay? Because that is not going to happen when you are posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. No one's going to be able to Google a search term and then find your Facebook post from 3 years ago, okay? That does not happen. You can attract more website visitors, obviously, generate more quality leads, keep your customers engaged, and actually become a thought leader in your industry, okay? So with all this content that you're putting out in your specific industry or field, people begin to start thinking of you as a thought leader because you are putting out this quality content, okay? So as far as content marketing, it is not new, but it's something that a lot of businesses overlook for some reason, okay? I want you to think about like the Michelin guides for restaurants. This is something that's tried and true and been around for years. And the Farmer's Almanac, okay? I kid you not. I was actually on their website a couple of weeks ago because I'm trying to figure out what I can plant in the late spring here in Houston, Texas. And the Farmer's Almanac has been around since, I don't know exactly when it started, but it's been around a long, long, long time. So that is what content marketing does for your business. You just don't want a fly-by-night business. You want to be around. You want people to remember you. You want to be able to be found, okay? So the digital age obviously has made it more accessible and powerful because we have so many different places that we can actually utilize content marketing and distribute your content, that we can actually get this done, more easily than they could back in the day when they create the Farmer's Almanac, right? Okay. So number one is what we need to do when we are starting on content marketing and starting on a strategy, which we'll get into a little bit later in detail, the strategy. But number one, you need to know who your people are. Who are you talking to? Okay, because this is going to help a lot. This is going to be a detailed profile of your ideal customer, their income, their demographics, what they like to do, what are their goals, what are their reasons for maybe coming to your business to purchase something from you, what are their motivations, okay? So you need to document your buyer personas and update this as needed. And I say update this as needed because it can change over time. And then in addition to it changing, there is also a part where you're going to look at buyer demographics from a certain standpoint, because you may have people in a certain stage that aren't ready to purchase and you need to nurture them up into a purchase, okay? So research them. So do interviews, do surveys. If you're on Facebook or you're part of different groups, just, hey, put in a post. I need to research about XYZ, wondering if I can get some input from somebody. That's an easy way to get research. Another way is to use your email list if you already have that, and figure out, what are they looking for? Where do they hang out online? What exactly? Just get into their mindset, right? So we want to map out that customer journey, and that's the steps the customer takes from awareness to purchase. So someone does not necessarily know who you are. They may see a Facebook ad. That's like awareness. They see your ad. It's like, oh, okay, so I see what this person's selling, what this business is doing. That's the awareness, right? And you want to guide them from that awareness stage all the way up to a purchase or a conversion, okay? And you want to make sure that your content guides them at each stage. Your content for your awareness stage is not going to be the same as your content for someone who is ready to buy, who already knows what they want. It's not going to be the same content, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I love the SMART goals, and I use it for pretty much everything. So you want to make sure that you are actually using SMART goals, okay? And when I first started way back when, I did not use SMART goals. I just posted randomly. I'm like, oh, well, maybe someone will like my post. Maybe they'll buy something from me. Maybe they'll do this. No, you need to have specific goals, okay? So if you're not aware what the SMART goals are, it's specific. So clearly define what you want to achieve. Is measurable. How will you know if you succeeded, okay? Attainable. Be realistic to set yourself up for wins and not beat yourself up for losses, right? R is for relevant. Tie your goals back to your overall business objectives. T is time bound, and set a deadline to create urgency for yourself, okay? So last but not least, just want to let you know that content is not for fun. We need to make sure that it is supporting your business goals and using those SMART goals that I just read off. And, everybody's goal for their business is going to be different at every point in time. So is it more leads? Do you need more brand awareness? Do you want to make more sales? Do you want to get more interviews? Whatever it is, you need to figure this out, okay? And lastly is we want to measure impact. So I am a firm believer in measuring, because you don't know what you don't know, and you will never know how to improve. So how to know your content is actually working. Are you getting more email subscribers to your list, if that was your goal? Are you getting more sales? If Was that your goal? Are you booking more sales calls? So you need to have some type of way to measure your impact with this content marketing. And some things are probably going to be a little bit easier to track than others. Social media, you can use analytics with whatever tool you're using. If you're scheduling tools or whatever platform you're using, usually they have built-in analytics as well. But for things like sales calls, for things like sales of your product or your coaching program or whatever, you're going to have to figure out how to actually measure that, so you'll have KPIs later on down the line that you can actually compare. So this was just a brief introduction of what content marketing is, and we'll get into a little bit more detail coming up. Let's talk about content strategy development. So what a lot of people don't think of when they think of content marketing is branding. And I want to say they maybe think about colors, maybe think about a logo, but they don't think of branding in the sense of your voice and your message. So I've done videos on, your brand persona and things of that nature. So it would be really odd, for instance, to have a serious Series A business that probably talks to executives, but their brand colors were the colors of McDonald's, right? Because McDonald's does not scream executive type business. It screams, back in the day when I was a child, fun and playing on the playscape and everything else at McDonald's. So you have to know your brand personality, and it has to be a matchup. When you have your content out there in the world, it has to match up with what your business really is, because there's going to be a mismatch. So you want to make sure that everything is cohesive. So what are the human characteristics of your brand? Are you friendly, authoritative? Are you quirky? Are you not serious? Are you really stuffy? There's nothing wrong with that, but is that your brand personality? How exactly do you think you sound to your audience? Do you sound conversational, professional, inspirational? We can go on with different words there to describe your tone of voice. Another thing is you want to make sure you have key messaging. What are the core ideas that you want to communicate consistently? And you're going to have to communicate those consistently throughout your content. So let's start getting into a little bit of the content strategy now, okay? We want to have a good foundation for your content strategy. These are considered building blocks of content, okay? So your content pillars, your topic clusters, things of that nature, your content calendar. This is what we're going to talk about for a couple minutes. So every business should have specific content pillars that they discuss. So for instance, maybe you are a fitness coach and you talk about helping people lose weight, specifically for moms after they've had a baby. Okay, so that's very specific. So as far as content is concerned, yes, we're talking about a little bit of the human body in women and, what happens after they give birth. But we are probably also talking about nutrition, probably also talking about exercise. Another thing that's really big is probably getting sleep, because new moms don't get a lot of sleep, and stress management, because this is something new. So these are all content pillars. These are main topics or theme that your brand will focus on, right? So nutrition, workouts, motivation, sleep, all of that, okay? Then we move into the clusters, the topic clusters. So these are subtopics that branch off of your pillar. So think of this as like a tree. So these subtopics branch off your pillars, creating more depth and variety, because you want to have enough content that you can create, number one, and you want to bring people in at different buyer levels, okay? So that's going to help with these topic clusters as well. So if we're thinking about nutrition, we think of healthy recipes, meal prep ideas, supplement guides, workouts. So we have all these different topic clusters that we can talk about. Okay, and these are your building blocks of content. Remember that. Lastly, your content calendar. So this is a schedule for planning, creating, and publishing content, and it helps you stay organized and consistent. So I use My Digital CMO. That is a software that helps me with my content calendar. It actually helps me with my whole brand development and everything for my business. And as far as another content calendar, in my social media scheduler, that helps with figuring out what I'm going to post and where those posts are going to go, what platform. Okay, so let's start talking about what type of content you will be creating. And you want to have diverse content formats versus just posting on Facebook. And that's all you do, right? We want to be diverse with our content marketing. So, number one, blogs. Blogs are great for SEO, in-depth topics, thought leadership. If you want to throw in a few affiliate links or your own products, they're great, okay? Videos. Videos are king. So obviously I have a YouTube channel. I love YouTube. I help people with their YouTube. Videos can be posted anywhere, pretty much. It does not have to be on YouTube. They're engaging, shareable, good for tutorials and demos, okay? Even on your own website. Videos are good on your own website too, okay? And then we go into the generalized social media posts. So on these posts, like on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you can do quick updates, business updates, conversation starters, like quotes, things like that, community building. Podcasts are also really good. Those are picking up with the SEO. They are convenient for people who are busy. So they can just turn on a podcast while they're working out or driving. They also build a loyal following, like video, okay? We also have infographics. I remember a few years ago, infographics were really, really big, meaning popular. So they're very visual, they're attention grabbing and easy to digest, lots of information. So I do occasionally still post infographics on my Pinterest account. Ebooks and white papers. So you can use ebooks and white papers as lead magnets, established expertise, and more in-depth information. So I've written a ton of books. Okay, we're not going to get into that. I've written a couple of white papers, but those books did help me with establishing trust as a lead magnet, establishing expertise. It helps a lot if you were to do something like that. Webinars. They have like live interaction, lead generation, educational, and then case studies. So if you are working with patients, if you are working with clients now, and I say patients because you know my background is in nursing, so it occasionally slips out. But if you're working with clients, so you can do case studies on how you help somebody get from A to Z or A to B or whatever. Okay, so this is a proof of your value, showcase customer success. You know, you can do a lot of things with case studies, and you can share those case studies on wherever you pretty much do. I mean, like videos, blog posts, social media, you can share those pretty much anywhere, okay? So you want to make sure when you are creating content that you are choosing the right mix, number one. So is your audience the type of people that maybe would listen to a podcast versus watching a video? So a few years back, I was more of a podcast person, but now I'm more of a video person. So what does your audience prefer? What are your business goals with your content? Once again, we talked about that earlier, but it's always good to mention it again. What are your business goals? What actions do you want your specific content to drive for your customers or your potential clients? What do you want them to do after they consume your content? Okay. And then what can you actually create with your time and budget? So there are always resource constraints, whether that's money-wise or time-wise? Do you have more time than money, or do you have more money than time? That's really going to affect what type of content you are creating for your business. Okay, so content channel, each format has its ideal channels, okay? And so I'm going to go through a couple, give you pros and cons and everything else as far as the different types of content. So blog posts, obviously, on your website and share to social media. You can also share blog posts on places like Medium and LinkedIn for extra reach. Videos, like I said, they are not just for YouTube. You can use those videos on your blog posts. You can promote them on social media, put them on Pinterest, put them on your website. You can put those everywhere. Social posts, so those are going to be tailored to each platform's strength. So obviously Instagram is more visual, and then Twitter is more text-based, and so on, right? Like LinkedIn, busy business professionals, right? Every social media channel has a different target audience, and you want to keep that in mind. Okay, so let's look at some content, and let's look at the pros and cons of each format, and you figure out what exactly you will be doing for your specific business. So blog posts. So the pros of blog posts are that they have SEO benefits, so search engine optimization, and it's considered long form content, and it does establish authority. Cons is that they are time consuming to create, require strong writing skills, and I would say that they're easier now to create than they were 5 years ago because we have AI, okay? And a little bit later on down the line, I'll probably give you some tips and tools that I've used for actually developing content. So it does not take me long to come up with a blog post. It does not take me as long as it used to actually research keywords and everything with all the software and all the tools that we have now. So blogs are ideal for in-depth topics, thought leadership, and educating your audience. Going on to videos, they do have high engagement. They do build trust. They are good for complex topics as well. And the cons for videos, when I first started on YouTube, and I can attest to this, is that production can be expensive and it can be time consuming. So like right now it's not expensive, but it is time consuming to create videos, set aside time, edit those videos, upload those videos, things like that, okay? So videos are great for tutorials, product demos, and they also showcase your personality. So you guys have seen me on videos, you know my personality by now, right? Social media, if we're just posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So this is really easy to create. You can make these social media posts in Canva really quickly. Fosters interaction. It has a broader reach. But the cons are that it has a short lifespan. Like I said, it does not have any SEO benefits, and that's really what you want. You want those SEO benefits so people can find you weeks, months, and years down the line, okay? And also everything is algorithm dependent. I forgot to mention that. So I don't know if everyone remembers when Facebook went dead for like 6 hours and people were freaking out. So like there are people who have actually built businesses on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, and they had no other way to contact their people, contact their customers, contact their followers, because they built their business on social media. And the algorithm just decided to poop out that day. And, you know, they didn't have any contacts. So just think about that. You want to build your own audience on your own platform. You know, you want your own stuff, right? But social media can be good for community building, building brand awareness, and driving traffic to other content. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. I'm just saying make sure you have your own stuff too, okay? Next up is podcasts. So these are easy to consume. Like I said, if someone's going for a walk or has a long commute, they can listen to a podcast, and they build loyal followings because people get to know you from listening to your podcast, and they are convenient for listeners. Cons for podcasts is that they can be super, super niched, and they don't have any visual appeal. So if people are actually visual, they're not going to get any of that if you were doing an audio only podcast. And it's going to be hard to stand out. So I've noticed a lot of people now doing podcasts on YouTube so they can do a video and have the audio. So I think that's a good way to get more reach if you're going to do podcasts instead of just audio. And you need to make sure that you have good audio quality when you are actually recording your podcast. So podcasts are going to be ideal for interviews, discussions, thought leadership, and very niche audiences. Next up are the infographics. So, like I said, I remember these being really big a few years ago. So these are very eye-catching, shareable graphics so they can simplify really complex topics. And I do post some of these on Pinterest. The cons for these that you do actually need design skills, because it does take design skills not only to make something visually appealing, but it takes design skills to put a lot of information in a small amount of space and how to figure that out. Okay, so this is ideal for data-driven content, quick overviews, social media engagement. It's not really good for thought leadership. I mean, no one's going to think you're an expert on something because you created a few infographics. Enjoying this content? Subscribe to the Content Bite newsletter for weekly tips, strategies, and tools that'll help you amplify your brand with content marketing. Click on the link below to sign up. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, the last one is ebooks, which I love because I've written a ton of books. So ebooks have a lot of pros. They are used as lead magnets. They demonstrate your expertise. You can get really in depth with a particular topic, but the cons are that it does take time to create and requires promotion in some form or fashion, right? But with AI, things are quicker. Now you can create ebooks a whole lot quicker than, the ebooks that I created way back when I first started. So it still does take time. It's more time consuming than you just creating social media posts or things like that, or even a blog post, right? This is ideal for lead generation, educating potential customers, and building email lists. Okay, so I just wanted to come in here simply because the new year will be here in less than 5 weeks. And people right now we just had Thanksgiving, we just had Black Friday, we just had a lot of holidays, and it's not time for us to sit back and then coast on into the new year. So what's going to happen is the fact that we have the new year coming in, and you need to be working on your content strategy for the new year. Okay. And so this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Is I wanted to talk to you about your content strategy and how to develop an effective content strategy. So if you see me looking around here, it's because I've got a couple different programs and I'm streaming to a couple of different platforms right now with a brand new program. So, that's the reason I am looking around here. But I just wanted to talk to you guys simply because you need to stay on track of what's happening and not actually coast into the new year, because you need to have a strategy. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about 2024. And like I said, we're only about less than 5 weeks. So it's about 4.5 weeks out until 2024. And I wanted you guys to actually have a strategy to go forward with the new year. And the reason being is because if you don't have any kind of strategy, if you don't have any kind of plan, then you're going to obviously not meet your goals. Things aren't going to go the way that you expect it to go as far as your business is concerned. You're just basically going to be paddling without a paddle, right? You have no direction whatsoever. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that because number one, before we actually get into everything, is that you need to know what your goals are. So me, As an example, I have goals to reach out to my first degree connections on LinkedIn, publish more blog posts. I want to have a following on Pinterest and try to get more organic traffic that way. You have to set clear goals, okay? And so what are your goals going to be? Is it going to be developing more brand awareness for your business? Are you going to focus on getting more website traffic to your website? Are you focused on getting leads and getting people to sign up for your program? What exactly is your goal? Because if you don't have a goal, it's going to be easy for you actually not to reach that goal in the first place. So number one is going to be defining your goals, okay? So whatever that is for you and your business, you need to figure that out. Number two is maybe one of the most important things, and you should already know this, but I have to reiterate this, is reiterating that you need to know your audience, okay? And when I talk about needing to know your audience, it's simply the fact that you need to know where your audience hangs out, what your audience interests are, what their pain points are, what their demographics are, okay? Because if you don't know this, you're not going to know exactly where to actually distribute your content. You don't know where you're going to focus. So as an example, maybe your demographic are homeschool moms, okay? And so maybe you know that homeschool moms hang out a lot in Facebook groups and they don't really hang out that much on LinkedIn. So therefore, your efforts should not be on LinkedIn. Your efforts should be on those Facebook groups or those Instagram groups or whatever it is. That's where your efforts should be because you know your audience and you know where they hang out, okay? The next thing is knowing your audience. That way you know what their pain points are. So it's going to be good for you to actually know what their pain points are. So that way you can position yourself, your business as someone who can help them with their particular pain points. Okay. The next thing is planning ahead. So I've already mentioned that a couple of times. It is 2023 and we're the last few weeks. It's almost December. And therefore, December is going to fly by. And so for most businesses here in the US, we only actually have a couple more working weeks because it seems like a lot of things shut down the last 2 weeks of the year. So you really need to get on this content strategy and planning your content strategy for 2024. As an example, I'm not only planning my content right now and laying everything out on a calendar, but I'm also starting to write things. So like blogging is one thing that I'll be focusing more on in 2024. So I'm starting with my blogs right now. So I know the downtime when everybody is off in the last 2 weeks of the year, I am writing my blogs. I'm getting all that stuff set up. I'm scheduling them automatically. So that way I'll have that's just going and it'll be a routine and I won't have to scramble around and worry about it come January 1st. Okay. So planning ahead. And when I talk about planning ahead, I mentioned personally that I'll be doing blogs within my 2 businesses, but you have to figure out exactly what type of content you'll be doing in your business. So there are many different types of forms of content. So we have blogging, we have videos, which are on YouTube. We have the short viral type videos on Instagram and TikTok. We also have podcasts, newsletters, so email newsletters. So I do send a weekly email newsletter for people who are interested in content marketing and learning more about how to use content marketing for their business. That is the Content Bite, and I will drop the link down below if you're interested in that. Another thing is that we are talking about thought leadership. So thought leadership is not necessarily on any particular channel, but thought leadership is very important. So you can create thought leadership content and put that on YouTube. You can also have thought leadership content in your weekly email newsletter, thought leadership content on your podcast. So thought leadership content is going to take you a long way with your business. So that's positioning yourself as the authority in your industry, in your niche, okay? So just think about that. So what types of content, and I'm not talking about the social media channels just yet. What types of content are you going to be creating within your business to get the word out about your business? Okay, so like I said, that's all going to be related to what your goals are. If you want brand awareness, if you want more website traffic, if you want more leads, whatever that is, you need to figure out what kind of content goes along with what you are trying to do. Okay. All right, so the next step is actually looking at the social channels. So social media channels, obviously, we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. We have all kinds of different social channels. YouTube and Pinterest, even though they're lumped into social media, they're not really social media. So those are actually search engines, and those play a critical role in your content marketing strategy as well. Even though people treat them as social media, they are search engines, okay? And they're very, very, very important for your business. So you have to have a mix. And like I said, this is going to be different for every business. So for most businesses, so within my fractional role, I suggest those businesses focus on LinkedIn and YouTube and maybe some other fringe social media. Okay, so there's a reason for that. So LinkedIn is where you're going to have all your thought leadership content, and LinkedIn is going to attract other professionals within your industry that may want to partner with you. You're going to get deals and everything else from LinkedIn. Okay, YouTube is wonderful because it's video content. Video is king right now. Okay, so people want to know you. People want to see your face. People want to know who is behind the business that they might be doing business with, right? So they want to know that you're trustworthy. So that's another thing. And then as far as YouTube is concerned, you can repurpose those videos in so many different ways. You can repurpose that into your email newsletter. So with my email newsletter, I will give people the link to my latest video. You can also break that up into shorter viral type videos, right? You can also post that video on LinkedIn. You can also post that video on other social media platforms, okay? You can take snippets from that video. So there are so many different ways that you can break up a video and redistribute it across all of your social media platforms, okay? Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, and all the other platforms. So once again, like I said, Pinterest is not really social media. It's an organic search engine, okay? Pinterest is good. It is a long-term game, just like YouTube. So YouTube takes a while to get traction. Pinterest takes even longer in some instances if you're not doing something like an idea pin. But Pinterest is good because that's going to help you. If your goal was to actually get website traffic, then Pinterest is going to help you with that goal, okay? Pinterest is really good for bloggers or people who blog for their business. To bring people into that blog, to bring them into your business overall, okay? There are certain strategies that you can do with Pinterest. I'm actually working on something now, and I know that if I just implemented something this week with Pinterest, it's going to take me about 3 months before I can see any results, simply because it is a search engine and it does work slower. Same thing with YouTube. It is a search engine and it works slower. So I won't be able to actually look at anything to see if anything works for a couple months from now. But if they do, I will be back and let you know if everything's working, and I'll share that with my clients, and I'll share that with you guys here as well. Okay, so another thing is your content calendar. So I don't want you to get content calendar and content strategy mixed up, because some people use this interchangeably. Oh, I created a content calendar. And when they say they created a content calendar, they're like, oh, okay, that's my strategy. They're not the same, okay? So I want to break down what the difference is between calendar and strategy. Okay, so a content calendar is like you're looking at the calendar and you're saying, I am going to post 3 posts per week on LinkedIn. And I'm going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, that's your calendar. And then I'm also going to sprinkle in a couple of YouTube videos a month. Okay, so that's a content calendar. A content strategy is saying, I'm going to post on LinkedIn 3 times a week, 2 of those posts are going to be thought leadership type posts. And one of those posts is actually going to have a call to action leading people to sign up for whatever product, to my newsletter, to whatever else. That is a strategy, because a strategy you can actually measure. You can measure, okay, I posted 3 times a week on LinkedIn for 6 weeks. You can measure the fact that, okay, yes, I posted 3 times a week on LinkedIn, but you're not going to be able to see the nuances on what is working and what is not working for you, okay? So that's the difference between just a flat out calendar and a strategy. The strategy is I am posting on social media, whatever your chosen platform is, or I'm blogging, or I'm writing emails to my I'm writing newsletters to my email list. So that way you can actually measure the metrics, okay? And you have to have a specific reason in mind. And I'm gonna go back to number 1, the reason: more traffic, more leads, more sales, whatever it is gonna be for your business is going to be for your business, but you have to have some type of strategy, okay? So as far as the calendar is concerned, I'm not saying that right now you need to plan out the next 12 months of next year, okay? And the reason being is because obviously things change. And then number 2 is that we want to actually look at what's working and look at what's not working. So as an example, like I said, I just started a new Pinterest strategy last week. And I know it's going to take me a couple months before I can actually get results and actually start seeing things happening, right? So 3 months from now, I'm going to look at my content, my overall content strategy, and see exactly what I was doing on Pinterest and see, okay, so this worked, or no, this didn't work, right? And then from there, you're going to iterate. Okay, and this content strategy is a iteration multiple times, because things are going to change. Business is going to change. You are going to hit some things that you probably did not expect, like 2020 hit us. We didn't expect what was going to happen in 2020, so therefore you had to go back and rearrange your content strategy to make sure things align with what was going on in the world. So you do want to make sure that you have your content strategy and make sure it's flexible enough. Make sure that you have enough room in it to actually change some things up. The same thing with blogging. Blogging is going to take some time. If you are writing blog posts, it's going to take some time to see if that's actually working well for you, okay? Another thing is that we want to look at analyze. Like I said, you can look at things and you can say, oh, I got, I ended up with 5 more subscribers because of that video, or I had a lot of engagement on that video. You want to actually track metrics, okay? And when I'm talking about metrics, you want to look at your metrics as far as your engagement, your conversion rate, right? That's very important. You're selling something because you are a business owner. And you want to look at your audience feedback. You want to constantly look at these things to see if you are on the right track. So obviously we're looking at Google Analytics. We are looking at your social media platforms that you're posting on. We're looking at this and keeping track of your metrics, okay? Another thing is I want to let you know that your content, so whatever it is that you're choosing to do, whether that be podcasts, YouTube, blogging, posting on Pinterest, whatever it is, I want you to have enough flexibility to diversify your content, okay? Mix it up. So don't just post on Facebook, just post text posts. Don't just post different things on Instagram. Mix it up. So maybe you are used to, sorry, my Alexa just went off. So maybe you're used to talking about maybe you just do regular text posts on Facebook, right? And you don't add images, okay? So mix it up and add some images sometimes, okay? Mix it up and post your short YouTube clips. Mix it up to see exactly what's working and what's not working and what your audience actually likes. Because you would be surprised that your audience maybe does not respond to something that you thought was this grand idea and you didn't know, what happened. But then you look at your metrics, you see that, oh, okay, we changed some things up. We started adding video. We started doing this. We started talking about this. And then that's the change, okay? So the next thing is your team. So talking about teams that have, I've got my lawn guys. Of course, they always come out here when I'm on a live or on a video. But so we want to talk about your team, okay? And talking about collaborating. If you are in business and you have more than one person, obviously, and you have the means to work with other people within your business, such as sales and everything else, you want to make sure you're collaborating with them so everybody is on the same page when it comes to your content marketing strategy. You don't want to just have the marketing aspect of your business working on content and then not sharing anything with your sales team, or not sharing things with people who need to know, okay? If you're working by yourself, you don't have a team and it's just you, I would suggest that you get a little bit of help, simply because it is a lot if you are trying to post on a couple of different platforms. It's a lot to try to post on a couple of different platforms, and if you have the means, go ahead and get somebody to help you with something, okay? Start using tools that will help you move a little bit faster. Start hiring a VA or having somebody help you with the content so that way you can stay consistent, okay? And lastly, I wanted to talk to you guys about leaving room in your calendar to address industry trends and big events. So it's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. You never know what's going to happen. So we don't know what's going to happen in March of 2024, okay? We don't know what's going to happen next week. Something big could be going on in your industry that just like rocks its world. So keep in mind that you need to stay agile. So it's not like just a set it and forget it. So even though you can post and schedule things to go out in a certain time, make sure you have room to say, if something big happens, I'm going to create something and put it out there so I can stay up on these industry trends, okay? So with that being said, I just wanted to say that I was coming in here to talk to you guys about your 2024 content strategy, simply because we don't have that much time left, especially here in the US, since we all kind of shut down the last 2 weeks of the year. I want to encourage you to get this all done before January 1st, okay? So if you need any help with your content strategy, go ahead and leave me a message or comment down below. Let me know, because I have room to help one more person develop their entire content strategy and kind of guide them on where they need to go in the next year, okay? You do not want to wait until January 1st. You do not want to wait until the middle of December to get this started. You don't want to wait right now, because like I said, these last couple of weeks are just going to fly by simply because it is the holiday. So if you enjoyed this, let me know, and then that way I can, come in here and do some more lives about content strategy for you guys, different content strategies. Maybe we can focus on blogging one time, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, and let me know, and then I'll continue to come in here and pop in and do lives. But in the meantime, like I said, if you need any help, go ahead and drop me a comment down below, get in contact with me, and I'll see you guys on the next video, okay?
We are in the 100K branding, and today we are focusing on color schemes. I'm going to walk you through branding and imagery in this section. There is psychology at play when you use certain colors for your branding. Color psychology is the study of colors in relation to human behavior. Colors are powerful and have the ability to compel someone to purchase a product or not purchase a product. Let's take a look at some colors and find out what kind of feelings or mood that you want people to feel when they're looking at your offer. Okay, so we're in the members area here, and the colors are here in the download section. And so here we are. So red is excitement, strength, love, energy. This is the perfect color for dating or relationship industries. Orange, confidence, success, bravery, sociability. Yellow, creativity, happiness, warmth, cheer. The color yellow reminds me of McDonald's golden arches, so I think of happiness all the time. And they're doing really great with their branding because a lot of kids think of happiness when they see the golden arches as well. So green is nature, healing, freshness, quality. Also, this is great for those in the financial industry. Blue is trust, peace, loyalty, competence. This is a good color for those in the healthcare industry. Pink is compassion, sincerity, sophistication, and sweetness. Purple is royalty, luxury, spirituality, and ambition. Brown is dependable, rugged, trustworthy, and simple. Black is formality, dramatic, sophistication, security. White is clean, simplicity, innocence, and honesty. Okay, so I just want to show you guys another image here. So we're going to go to the image guide 2. All right, and so these are these colors actually in action with the brands that you know, like, and trust and use on a daily basis. So just think of this when you are choosing your own colors for your own branding. Okay, so let's take for instance that you are in finance, right? And your offer is obviously dealing with money. So let's take a look at how you would potentially choose your color scheme if you don't already have a color scheme for your business, okay? So under the resources tab, we have a link to a site called Colors. And here you will be able to put together color palettes really easily. So I really like this tool here. So you go to the Explore. Okay, so we see all these different color palettes, but we are specifically looking for something that has green as a color palette. So we go up there and we can choose whatever color, right? All right, so green. So our main color, obviously we're going to choose green, and then after that we're going to choose another color that will help that stand out. So it will be the color for like your buttons and everything else. So it'll be a contrasting color to that green. So you can go through here and kind of see what catches your eye just looking at this as a whole, and then maybe landing on a specific green color that you'd like. Just for example, I like this green color, and so if you hover over something, it's going to show you your hex codes. Hex codes are very important. You need to copy these numbers and put them down in like a Google Drive document or maybe Evernote. Put them somewhere so you don't lose them, because you want your colors to be exact and accurate when you put them into your sales page and you build your mock-up. So if you click on this, it's going to automatically copy it, and you can copy it, like I said, to a Google Drive page or your Evernote. Okay, so something that would contrast this color is obviously something maybe in the orange family, right? These are the same oranges, I believe. Well, fairly close. And you can choose that as a contrasting color. Another thing is we always want black and white. So we're always going to have black and white as the constants. We're going to have your main color. We're going to have a contrasting color to that main color, and maybe one or two more. We don't want to get wild and crazy with the colors on your sales page and all your mock-ups, but 6 colors max. Maybe 5 would probably, would probably be the best. So your main color, contrasting color, black, white, and maybe 1 or 2 other colors. So another thing with this tool is, I'm not going to get completely into it, but you can play around with this tool and you can generate. So after you find that green that you like, And let me see if I actually lost it. I probably did. So we're going to use another green. Okay, you can go to generate, right? And this is going to allow you to see everything up close and personal. Obviously, these aren't the colors that you're going with, but you can go through here and customize each one. So like I already have the hex code for that green that I liked. I can put it there. And then we can do a contrasting color. And you can, view the shades of whatever color you already have here if you wanted to change that up. But it's really nice. You can always add colors here. And so once you start picking your colors, you get, your main color and your contrasting color, put that hex code there, and obviously put in black and white, and, maybe one or two other colors. So that way you can see everything as a whole, and you will have this here. So I use this app a lot, or this site a lot, and you can actually save everything within the site. So I don't save my hex codes in a separate area. I have my hex codes here because it has the color swatches as well. So this is a really, really, really cool. And you can move things around. Like I said, you can add other colors. You can check the shades of that particular color that you already have. You can favorite a color, add tags to it. So once you open up your account, you can start saving things. So you have homework to do. So if you don't already have branding in place as far as your colors, this is what you need to work on. Before you can do anything else with your funnel or anything, you need to have your branding, your imagery, and your fonts in place. So in this lesson, we are talking about font pairings. I want to make this as simple as possible for you. And basically throughout this whole module, what I'm doing is preparing you to create your sales page. So what we're doing is taking your audience into consideration for everything and trying to think of the emotions you're trying to convey and what type of audience you're serving. Does it make sense to use a font like Times New Roman when I'm serving the millennial crowd? No, it doesn't. This would be an incongruence. So what we're basically doing here is figuring out who the audience is and trying to match our colors, fonts, and graphics to them. When it comes to fonts, there are a few ways to go, but we need to take a few things into consideration. If your offer is related to the creative artist industry, you may think that you want to do a cursive or script font, but what you actually would be doing if you're going to be using that type of font on your sales page is hindering yourself. Yes, you would be on the right track with the audience you're serving and getting a font that matches that audience, but the thing you really have to consider is the readability of the text that you choose. Is it easy to read on the sales page? No, it wouldn't be. Another thing I see is a lot of female entrepreneurs using a flowy brush script font for their websites. This is not going to work for your sales page because it's not going to convert well. When you're making your sales page, consider the audience, but don't go crazy with weird flowing script fonts because you're going to miss out with the comprehension and conversions simply because they're not going to be able to read the fonts. For this reason, if you're selling on the internet, you should be using sans serif fonts. Sans serif fonts are without serifs, which are small lines at the end of the characters. And I'm going to show you an example here. So in your membership area under resources here, we're going to click this link and it's going to take you to the Font Pairings website. This is fontpair.co, gives you lots and lots and lots of options on different font pairings. So let me find a serif font to show you what you do not want on your sales page versus a sans serif font. So right here in the middle, we have this. This is a serif font, meaning that they have all these little extra characters on the letters. This makes things very difficult to read when you're doing online marketing. So you would not use a serif font with your sales page simply because this is really, really, really hard to read. And especially since we are going for mobile first, this is going to make this even more difficult to read if you have a majority of your users looking at your sales page on their mobile device, okay? So this is the serif fonts. Now we're going to move on to sans serif. You can see this here. This is a sans serif. This is a really thick font, but this does not have any of the extra little lines on the end of the letters. This is what we're looking for, okay? So let's go and find the fonts that you would like to see on your sales page. So we're going to go down the page a little bit more here, and we're going to go to sans serif plus sans serif pairs. Go here, and these are the recommended pairs that this website has. Some of them are the same for the headers and the same for your actual paragraph, and that's fine. And some of them are different. So scroll through this and see what, still resonates with your audience, but is still very readable and still goes with the feeling that you're trying to convey. Okay, so my eyes go immediately to this combination. This is a nice combination, but it's completely up to you. And another thing about this website I forgot to mention is that, I told you about the colors website. And so it actually has some suggestions here on colors as well, if you were still stuck on that. But look through here and figure out what you are going to be using on your sales page. So stick to the sans serif combination, and what you need to do after you figure out your fonts is put it on the same document that you wrote down your color hex codes for. So put that all together in a place that's going to be easy for you to find when it's time for you to pull everything up and work on your sales page. So in the next lesson, we are going to be going over the graphics you're going to be using on your sales page. Okay, before we can get into lead magnets and your actual content and what content you're going to put out, we have to have a basic funnel in place, and we have to have those goals in where we want to lead people. Okay, so this right here is a basic funnel setup, and at the top you'll see the top of your funnel where these people are coming from. So that would be your main website, YouTube, social post, and your blog. As you can see, I have asterisks next to YouTube and blog simply because those two methods are Okay, this is just a basic funnel graph that I've created just to show you exactly what you're going to be doing with all of this content. You need to have a plan, and this is why it's so important to have a content strategy in place before you start making content. You need to have a plan on where you want to lead people to, okay? And where these people are going to be coming from. At the very top in the pink, you'll see 4 different areas where people can start to come into your funnel. The first one is your website. So your website where you list out your services, your products, what you do, everything. That's a great source of traffic and getting people to know you, okay? Next, we have YouTube, then we have social posts, and then we have a blog. You'll see that there are asterisks next to YouTube and blog, and the reason being is because these are long lasting, because these have SEO and these will bring in people for years, okay? Not just days after you put up a post on Facebook. Those posts don't last forever. They last a couple days max, right? But if you post a YouTube video people can find that YouTube video years after you posted it. So I have a video that I posted 2 years ago that is still getting views today. Okay. You can't do that with basic social media posts, but you can do that with the blog. You can do that with YouTube. That's why I highly suggest, if you're going to have a content plan, that you work in YouTube as your content plan. Work it in there as being your main source of traffic if you can, and not blog, simply because you can take a YouTube video and you can repurpose that into a blog. So you are doubling your chances of someone being able to see your content, okay? Also, that YouTube content can be used over on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all your other social media platforms, okay? So long story short, so we have these main places that people are going to become aware of you, okay? Aware of you and your brand. Then from those main areas, your website, YouTube, social posts, blog, you will then have some type of call to action, whether that be a pop-up that comes up on your website. On YouTube, you have direct traffic coming in and you have your descriptions and everything else. Social media, you can go ahead and post your website, your links, whatever. The same thing with the blog as far as pop-ups and links, okay? So that is how we are getting people in. If they go ahead and opt in to your pop-up or click on your link and sign up for your newsletter or purchase or whatever, then they are officially in your funnel, okay? So say, for instance, someone does come to your website and they see a pop-up and they go ahead and put in their name and their email, and that is going to get them the lead magnet that you are promoting. We don't end there, right? It's important to get people on your email list. It's important to give people the lead magnets that are valuable. But after they sign up for your lead magnet, we want to nurture them through emails, okay? So that means they get your lead magnet. You are sending them 3 to 5 emails, just introducing yourself, introducing your brand, letting them get to know you a little bit more on a deeper level, and then leading them in to whatever your products or services are. So maybe on that 4th and 5th email, you are mentioning your services, okay? So from that initial lead magnet, we have 2 directions. So like I said, we go on to the nurture emails, but we have 2 directions here that we can go. And I highly suggest that we do this. So you have that lead magnet, they get your lead magnet after they opt in, right? So whether or not that's a pop-up or they put in their information, however they put in their information, they get another screen that says, thank you for downloading the lead magnet. But here is a special offer for you, my $27 book that will help you go farther, faster, and give you a little bit more detail on whatever that main lead magnet is, okay? You can most definitely do that. From there, we do want to continue those nurture emails. So with the lead magnet, we are doing the initial nurture sequence, right? After they get that lead magnet and they finish that nurture sequence, we are putting them into our regular email list where we are regularly emailing our list. So I regularly email my list whenever I have a new YouTube video, whenever I have a epic blog that I wrote, whenever I have a new product I want to introduce. I also email people every Friday with my Content Bite newsletter. So every time I email somebody, that gives me an opportunity to stay, number 1, top of mind. Number 2, that gives me an opportunity to sell, okay? Market and sell what I have to offer in my business, okay?
Because eventually, what you want to do is get these people not only to download that lead magnet, but to eventually purchase something from you. Or if you are a service based business, to go ahead and book a call with you to talk more about your services and your products. So this was just a brief overview of a basic funnel because this is important for any content strategy, and this has to be in place before you start creating content, because you will just be creating content blindly and not have any kind of goal and just bring these people in for a lead magnet, but not ever, get your product or service sold because your funnel is broken. You don't have those emails in place. You don't have, after this, the marketing emails in place. You don't have your thank you page or maybe your calendar link for booking a call. So you need to make sure whatever it is that you do for business, that you need to have a basic funnel in place before you start with your content strategy and start creating content.
Hey, quick interruption here. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed.
All right, let's talk about lead magnets. Lead magnets are a very important part of your content strategy because you do want to get people in on your email list. So what exactly is a lead magnet and how do they act as incentives for email signups? So lead magnets can be pretty much anything, but the benefits of lead magnets are that they increase website traffic and obviously lead generation. They build a valuable email list for targeted marketing campaigns, and they establish thought leadership and brand authority for you. Okay, so in order to create a great lead magnet, you need to understand your audience, know who your ideal customer is, and the importance of buyer personas when it comes to actually creating these lead magnets. So techniques for actually figuring out what kind of lead magnet to create includes surveys, website analytics, and competitor research. So if you have a list already or you have a little bit of a following, you can just post a survey on whatever platform that you're on the most, right? Same thing with looking at your analytics on the back end on Google Analytics. What pages are getting visited the most, okay? So you also want to make sure that your lead magnet identifies pain points and needs. What exactly are your ideal customers struggling with? And what kind of information or resources would be valuable to them, okay? So when we are creating these lead magnets, you have to remember that they can be in a variety of different formats. Pretty much anything can be a lead magnet just as long as it's valuable to the person who's receiving it. So ebooks are wonderful, because I've written a lot of books, and the books themselves are paid, but they act as lead magnets for my business once people actually purchase a book, okay? We also have checklists, we also have cheat sheets, infographics, video tutorials, so that can fit into YouTube. Here you are actually creating videos for your ideal customer to see, and that could be a particular lead magnet. So you could go ahead and send the link to your YouTube video, which is unlisted, and you can send that to somebody as a lead magnet, right? We also have webinars. Those are all very popular options for lead magnets. You can also do like a free trial of your software if you have a software. Like I have my social media scheduler, Social Pop, which I offer a 14-day free trial. That is also considered a lead magnet, okay? So you want to make sure that you're considering the best format to address your audience's needs and preferences, okay? We want to focus on offering practical solutions and actionable insights. And remember that these lead magnets should solve a specific problem or fulfill a desired outcome for this person who's downloading it, right? Another thing is when we are promoting that lead magnet, we want to make sure that we have great headlines that that get people in to actually want to give you their email address so they can download it. Okay. Use clear, concise language and benefit oriented headlines that grab attention, and use strong verbs, numbers, and intrigue to entice downloads. Okay, so a great example of this is on Pinterest. I have my downloads, my lead magnets, everything is on Pinterest. And what I have found that really works really well is just being very direct, right? Clear call to actions. Like, not just download now, but it tells people exactly what they're getting on the pin. So it will say free Notion goals template, or free Pinterest masterclass, or whatever it is. But you have to make sure you put that big F word, free, on it, right? Because that draws people in. That gives, makes people more attentive to your pins, and put exactly what it is that you are giving away for your lead magnet and put it on your pin. The same thing with if you are on another social media platform, make it really obvious what you're giving away, okay? So make it really obvious of what you are providing and what you're giving away. Next up is the design. Designs can be very simple. You can do this in Canva if you're giving away a trial that's just setting that up on the back end of whatever program you're using. So make sure that your lead magnets, if you are giving away something digital and you have to do some kind of creative work to it, make sure it's actually visually creative and visually appealing, okay? So make sure it has your brand colors, make sure it has your brand fonts, use great images of yourself or whatever it is, what your products or whatever you're talking about, consistent colors, okay? Making sure that brand visibility is on point. We'll talk about brand visibility here in a little bit. We also want to make sure your lead magnet is accessible to users with disabilities. So, you have to keep in mind, color contrast. If you are pinning on Pinterest and things like that, the alt text, same thing with your blogs. And you can also offer multiple download formats, right? Just depending on what it is. Okay, so putting all of this together, so you will need to develop a lead magnet, okay? Not just one lead magnet. So this is kind of like an iterative process. You will create a few different lead magnets for your business every couple months and see what works best for you, okay? What works best for your business. Some lead magnets may not bring people in. Some lead magnets may bring people in, but they don't even buy. They're a dead list. They just wanted your free stuff, right? Some lead magnets maybe need to be tweaked because you get some input from the people who are downloading. So just remember that this is an iterative process, okay? You need to make sure that you have these lead magnets, obviously, based upon your audience's needs and overall business goals. So when you are creating these lead magnets, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything difficult. You can do this in Canva. You can just go ahead and get the link to your software. If you're giving away trials, you can get links to your YouTube videos, whatever it is. Just make sure that you have it packaged up nicely, okay? And I already mentioned this, but lead magnets are a continuous process. They are iterative, making sure that you're regularly making sure that these lead magnets are bringing in the right people, that they're providing value, that people are getting something out of it, and that they eventually are converting into something later on. So are they actually purchasing your ebook? Are they actually signing up for a call with you? So make sure you have that to experiment with. Bonus tip is to reach a wider audience, like I mentioned earlier with Pinterest. So you're going to have to promote your lead magnets everywhere. When you have your lead magnet in place, or lead magnets, you are promoting these everywhere. I mean everywhere. You are putting them on your social media. You are putting them in your blog post. whenever you are on a podcast or something, you are mentioning them, you are putting them in the descriptions of your YouTube, you're putting these things everywhere for promotion, okay?
Okay, so let's talk about email marketing and why it's so important. So, when you are marketing your business, whatever service it may be, digital products, ebook, whatever, I always think it's very important not just to be on social media, but to also have your own email list and start building an email list. There are a few reasons why it's important. Number one is that you actually own your list. Okay. So maybe everyone remembers when Facebook went down for about 6 hours, Facebook and Instagram actually. And all those people were freaking out because they built their business on a platform. They built their business through Facebook groups or whatever. But when it went down, they had no way to contact these people that they had developed relationships with. These people wouldn't be freaking out had they had an email list. Okay. So it's very important not to put everything on a certain platform and making sure that you actually have your own email list. So, how you're going to grow your email list basically is by providing some type of lead magnet, something that entices them to give you their email address in exchange for whatever it is that you are giving away. And we'll go into lead magnets a little bit later on, but that's basically what it is. Okay. So, generally, for each subscriber, they are worth $1 per month. So, if you have 500 subscribers, generally they are worth $1 per month. So that's $500 because you can email your list with your products, your services, book calls, sell products. And so it's much more lucrative than, just generalized social media marketing to strangers. Okay. So how email marketing supports business goals. You are generating leads, number one. So if people are interested in your lead magnet, they're probably going to be interested in your main offer. You can drive sales and conversions. You can nurture customer relationships. So I personally have a newsletter that I send out every Friday. So I'm nurturing people. So you want to nurture those relationships, and about 7 to 10 touches is what it usually takes before someone becomes a customer. Okay. And you can do that through actually writing a weekly newsletter. So, emails can also help you increase your brand awareness and engagement because, people are getting to know you as not only personal, but as a brand. And in addition to that, you can also start gathering customer feedback by surveying your list and other things and seeing exactly what they want, what they need. So, as far as email marketing essentials, so number one, you're going to need a software. And that can be something like ConvertKit. That's what I personally use. That can be MailChimp. That can be Flowdesk, Active Campaign. There's so many different softwares that you can actually use. You just need to find one that's right for you. So I've been with ConvertKit for a few years. I like ConvertKit. It's easy for me to use. I understand it. And the pricing's not bad. So you have to think about pricing considerations, how much the software is going to cost you per month, what the subscriber limit is. And in addition to that, do they have any other features like landing pages, automations, or anything else like that that would actually help you in your business later on? Okay. So once we get that email marketing software, we start getting people in with your lead magnet. We want to actually start writing emails. You don't want these people sitting on your list just to say, oh, I have an email list, but I don't actually email them. You want to actually email these people and, make it regular. So you don't have to have a weekly newsletter. That's just something I do because I want to stay consistent, but you just need to email them on a regular basis, not just all with sales emails, not always selling. More information about, your business, what you do, offering value, things of that nature. Okay. So, one of the components of an email is obviously your subject line. You want to make sure your subject lines are not clickbaity. You want to make sure that they actually get people to open your emails. And, techniques like personalization, urgency, curiosity triggers, and power words are very important. So, once you get into your email marketing software, you will learn how to personalize. So, if you notice emails from me,
every single one of my emails actually has the subscriber's name in it somewhere in the email. Okay, so that's personalization. Next thing is your email content. So, like I said earlier, we want to balance value and promotion. We don't always want to be selling in the emails. Every time you get an email, people are going to be expecting, oh my gosh, she's going to try to sell me something again, blah, blah, blah. You want to actually give value and sprinkle in some of your marketing and your sales. Okay. So we have storytelling, social proof, clear calls to action. And so that would mean, I talk about my daughter, talk about homeschooling, talk about business. So that's, storytelling and personalization on my side. So you guys understand that I'm a person and not just a business. Social proof, testimonials, clear calls to action. That's like, you want somebody to click something to go to a page, you let them know, please click here to go to XYZ. Okay. So, building and segmenting your list. So, it's very important when you start building your list. So, you're going to have lead magnets. You're going to segment your list based upon what lead magnets people are opting in your list for, right? Because not every lead magnet is going to be applicable to everything that you have within your business. And then you also want to have the value of segmentation for personalization and improved engagement. So I offer digital products. I also have a software. I also do social media. So not all of my emails are going to be applicable to someone who wants to, say for instance, if they needed me for their short form video editing, they may not be interested in learning how to sell digital products. That just may not be anything they're interested in. So I would not send them emails related to digital products, if that makes any sense. Okay. Next thing is growth. Okay. So I was saying earlier, lead magnets. Yes, we've got lead magnets, opt-in forms, promotional strategies. You can change your lead magnets around. You can offer lead magnets for different parts of the ladder. So making sure that you're actually building these and getting your list to grow and not stay stagnant. Okay. Another thing is once you start building your list, you will have some metrics after you start building your list and start sending emails. So that's going to be like open rate, that's going to be subscribe and unsubscribe rate, that's going to be your click-through rate. Are people actually clicking through the links on your emails? So you'll be able to look at those metrics once you actually start sending emails. Okay, so a couple of advanced considerations to think about. I mentioned a little bit earlier. So, automation. So, automations are really, really nice, especially if you are selling digital courses, because once somebody buys your digital course or your digital product, you can automatically send them an email giving them access to that course, and then you can put them into a welcome sequence for that particular course. And their welcome sequence will be completely different than everybody else's welcome sequence, depending on how you have everything segmented and split up. So, this is very nice. So, a welcome sequence is like, 3 to 5 emails welcoming somebody to your business, to your brand after they've purchased something. Okay. And I suggest that for everything. So if you're selling a digital product on your own, you've got their email list, you've got their email, you can go ahead and segment them and give them their own little welcome sequence for that particular product, because they are interested in that product. So now I can segment later on and get them something else that's similar to that initial product that they purchased or that initial lead magnet that they downloaded. Okay. Another thing is very important. We go into automatic or abandoned cart emails. Okay. So, like, not everybody's going to buy. Some people are going to click the button on your product, fill out their information, and then just not buy. And I've done that so many times. You get distracted, or maybe you're thinking, oh, I thought they took PayPal, but they don't. So now I've got to get my credit card, and you completely forgot. Whatever the case may be, you want to try to catch those people by sending them an abandoned cart email. So if they put their email in and they've gone as far as like doing everything but pushing that buy button, then you need to send them 3 to 5 emails as well saying, hey, we see that you forgot. You put this in your cart, but you didn't complete your transaction, blah, blah, blah. Give them the option to complete that transaction again. And within that email, go ahead and put that checkout link within that email. Do that 3 to 5 times after someone has not purchased. Okay. Advanced workflows, that goes into more advanced things, like if they purchase something earlier, maybe they purchased something last month and then they purchase like the upgraded version of that first thing the next month, then maybe you could say, okay, they purchased the upgraded version, so I'm going to take them out of the intro version. Okay, so that's like an advanced workflow. That's something you're going to have to go through with your own software and see, because once someone clicks on something and gets added as a subscriber to that new list, you can actually erase them from that old list. Okay. Another thing that you're going to think about when you're doing emails is A/B testing. And that's like optimizing your subject lines, the content, personalization, send times, all of that stuff. And then we're just going to continuously work on the email. So email is going to be a consistent thing for you and your business at this point.
All right, let's talk about social media's role in content marketing. And social media is actually pretty big within content marketing, because you're going to have to figure out where you are going to do the majority of your social marketing, okay? And why exactly does social media marketing work? And there's a lot of different reasons, but number one, we're going to talk about the reach, okay? Because there are a lot of people who are active on social media platforms. I mean, from my daughter's grandmother to, myself, older people, younger people, it is a lion's share of people who are active on social media. They are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, so whatever it's called now. So I guess it's X. They are everywhere, fostering community, scrolling, wasting time, doing whatever they're doing, right? So with businesses, you can actually interact with your audience in real time. You can build relationships, and this can actually help you foster brand loyalty. Additionally, you can start driving traffic to your website, your blog, or your landing pages. We've talked about this. This is the main thing that you want to be doing as a business owner, is directing users to your website and to your sales pages, right? We can also amplify your content by sharing your blog posts, videos, and other content to a wider audience. This is why I'm so big on repurposing YouTube videos and turning those into blog posts and putting them in my newsletter and sending them to different social media channels, right? And you can also gain valuable insights. I'm really big on analytics, and I've talked about this before, is that we need to figure out exactly what works for your audience and what does not work for your audience. And you can track these social media analytics depending on what kind of tool you're using. You can track them on the social platform itself. You can track them on Google Analytics, but I'll get into that a little bit later. All right, so when you are posting on social media, you need to actually make sure you're choosing the right platforms, okay? Because it's not going to make sense if you have the wrong platform and you're posting, you're not going to resonate with the users of that particular platform if it does not match up with your audience, okay? So say, for instance, you are a financial professional and you are into B2B, so maybe TikTok is not the best platform for you to post. Maybe the best platform for you to post on would be LinkedIn. Maybe you would get more engagement, more leads, more people actually reading your post, right? So you have to think about where your ideal customers actually hang out, okay? So I'm going to go through some platform strengths here. So number one is Facebook. Everyone knows who Facebook is, or Meta. So they have a really big audience, versatile content formats, and strong advertising. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. Instagram, owned by Facebook, has visual storytelling, influencer marketing, and kind of caters to the younger demographic, okay? Twitter, or X. So these are real-time conversations, news, customer service. So I'm not really active on Twitter, but I do get like little tweets and news updates. So that's about the extent of my Twitter use, right? Okay, LinkedIn. So this is where you're going to go if you need professional networking, B2B marketing, and thought leadership. Again, we're going to go on to Pinterest. I'm going to tell you that Pinterest is not really a social media platform. It is a search engine, but it's lumped in here because a lot of people think it is a social media platform. So But with Pinterest, we have the visual discovery of the pins. Here's where the SEO works, right? Then we have the do-it-yourself projects and product inspiration. TikTok is for short form video, trending challenges, and it's reaching the Generation Z, right? Lastly is YouTube, my absolute favorite. YouTube is not a social media platform, just like Pinterest. It is a search engine, but it's lumped in here with the social media. So YouTube is great for long form and short form videos and also establishing thought leadership. Okay. So when you are creating social media content, you want to make sure it's visually appealing. Number one, you want to make sure you have eye-catching images and videos. So when someone is scrolling, mindlessly scrolling their feed, that they stop on your video or your post, right? You want to catch their attention. You also want to make sure you have good copy. So write concise, attention-grabbing captions. And you can also, in social media, show your brand's personality and connect with your audience on a human level. So I've told people this for a long time, not only showing your face, so have a video or video content, but just, maybe one day your content's not actually about business. It's maybe about your family or maybe about something personal that you don't mind sharing. So that way you are making more of a connection with your audience, okay? We also want to make sure we have variety. Mix up your content formats, images, videos, polls, stories, blogs, all that to keep things interesting, okay? Okay, so here are some social media strategies that work to consider for your own business. Develop a content calendar. I've said this many times. Develop a content calendar. Content calendar, content calendar, content calendar. So plan your posts in advance to maintain consistency and engage with your audience. I've also said this, when someone messages you or they like your comment or say something, make sure that you are responding to it. Use hashtags where indicated, right? So this way you can increase your reach and visibility, because on these social media platforms, they don't have the SEO aside from Pinterest and YouTube, like I said. So with some of these platforms, you can look up hashtags and you'll be able to see like all the posts that have that specific hashtag in it. Run contests and giveaways. So a lot of people don't know about contests and giveaways, but you can run a contest for your lead magnet, for your new product. You can do this for pretty much anything. And this also helps you boost engagement and attract new followers. And I'm going to show you an easier way to do this here in a second. Also, you can collaborate with influencers. So you can collaborate with somebody who has bigger brand than you or more followers than you, and you guys can collaborate in some way so you can get cross-posted on their social accounts, okay? The last thing is social media advertising. I've done this a few times, and you can target specific demographics and interests, but I do want to warn you that you need to be prepared to spend a lot of money testing, a lot of money in the beginning. Actually, not just spending money, but losing money before the ads are actually dialed in and converting. So just be prepared for that, okay? But you do not have to invest in social media advertising at all. You can do this all organically. Okay, so going over a couple social media tools to help you, okay? Because when you think about posting every day or 3 times a week on 1, 2, 3 channels, it can get very overwhelming because you have to create the content, number one, and then you have to figure out how you're going to post and upload things. So it can be very time consuming, but I suggest using a social media scheduling tool. Makes your life completely stress-free when it comes to social media and having your posts and everything together. So I'm going to show you something here in a minute, but just going over the basics. Hootsuite, a lot of people have heard of Hootsuite. So you can schedule posts, manage multiple accounts if you're a social media manager. You can track analytics. Buffer is similar to Hootsuite, and it focuses on social media scheduling and analytics as well. Social Pop is my social media scheduler, my software, and it's a all-around social media scheduling analytics AI writer. and more. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. But lastly is Canva, okay? Canva is an absolute godsend. If you do not have the premium Canva subscription, I highly recommend it because you can do so much with the premium versus just the free. I mean, the free will get you what you need if you don't have the money to invest in it, into the premium, but the premium is going to do so much more, and it's a really good investment. So I would take that in consideration if you're serious about creating social media content, okay? So I'm gonna take you to Social Pop and give you like a brief tour of what Social Pop can do for your business when it comes to social media.
Hey, it's me again. If you're looking for a personalized content strategy for your business, I am personally doing content marketing audits and free personalized workshops specific to your business to see how we can actually maximize your content marketing strategy. If you're interested in this free audit and workshop for your business, I'm going to leave a link down below. So click on that link and book a call with me and we'll get it done.
All right, so this is the Studio 822 calendar for the month of June. As you can see, I have all this stuff scheduled out. There's no way I would do this every single day. So I have pretty much everything scheduled out for the next year, and I love having that ability to do so. So if you look over here on the right side, you can see that you can schedule things and have everything labeled by, whatever it is, main, blog posts, promotionals, tips, industry news, etc. And you also have custom reports. I'm going to show you reports. So everything's checked here. But you can check off whatever social media platforms you're on. So automatically it has all this, but I'm actually not posting on these through my Social Pop. So I'm actually going to take off these. But you can see it gives you analytics. And so this is what you need to be tracking. When you are posting on social media, you need to be tracking, what is exactly happening. Are people liking your liking your captions? Are they commenting? Are they sharing it? What's happening? What resonates with them? Okay, because that way you can make more. And you see these spikes here. This is my LinkedIn content. And a lot of these high spikes are actually short form videos, you guys. So if you look on LinkedIn, you'll see that I'm pretty active on there. I'm posting at least 2 or 3 times a week. But you can check to see, what is working for you, what's not working for you. Within the software, you can actually not only check on the clicks, conversions, leads, but if you have it set up to where you're actually selling something, you can check to see if anyone's clicked on it and actually you've sold something from that particular post, right? So as you can see, clicks is showing here, engagements. I have a lot on Instagram, LinkedIn, like I said. So it's, very good to stay in the know about what exactly is working, what exactly is not working with your social media content, okay? So within Social Pop, there is a section where you can actually run campaigns. And it's pretty cool because let me show you exactly what kind of campaigns you can actually run within Social Pop. And so if you're looking here, we have an absolute ton of different campaigns. You can have like a weekly giveaway. You can have something to where you have a form. You want to embed a form on your website. You want to have someone sign up for your lead magnet, whatever it is. We pretty much have it all here. So it's pretty cool that you can just, preview it and you can use that template within your social media scheduler. So I like that aspect of it. Another cool thing here is that we actually have an AI writer, and you can actually use this to help you with your content. So say for instance, you don't know what you're going to post on social media. So your audience, the generalized, okay, I'm going to sell a product or I want to promote my product or whatever, but you don't know exactly what to say. This AI writer will do it for you, okay? And it'll allow you to connect to whatever platform you use. So if you use ChatGPT, you can connect to it. I use Google Gemini. I can connect to Gemini. If you use Bard or whatever, you can connect to whatever AI writer that you actually use. And you can start using this to help you write content. So within this course, we've talked about a lot. We've talked about blogs, we've talked about email, we've talked about your strategy, we've talked about all of that. And so you can actually come in here in Social Pop and you can actually get all that stuff done with the click of a button here. Okay, so I just wanted to briefly show you guys that. I'm gonna leave a link down below for you guys if you're interested in Social Pop. It's a monthly fee, and you can actually purchase a lifetime deal as well. But to start out, just try the 14-day free trial. I'm offering that to everyone who wants to try Social Pop for their business, but it's very easy. I will tell you that I actually have all my social media content posted for an entire year on Instagram, Google My Business, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Okay, and it took me roughly about an hour with the help of the AI writer. And if you want me to create a video showing you how to create a year's worth of content in an hour to post to all your social channels using Social Pop, I will most definitely do that. Just leave me a comment in the comment section that you want that video, and I'll make that video for you guys. But in the meantime, I hope this helped you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, let's talk about blogging. So blogging is a classic form of content marketing and very important even in 2024. A lot of people don't think blogging is as important, or maybe it's ineffective, but it still matters in 2024, considering the fact that this is part of your SEO. Just like I was saying about YouTube, blogs have SEO so people can find you on Google. So they're going to be able to find you for months, weeks, years after you write a blog post versus just putting up some kind of social media post and someone seeing it for maybe 2 days max, right? So we want to make sure that your website is ranked high in the search engine so people can actually find you when they're looking for your particular services or products, okay? In addition to that, blogs offer thought leadership. This is just like I was saying with an ebook. You are writing down your thoughts about a particular subject, and it's going to present you as the expert and the authority in that particular industry, okay? We also have a lead generation magnet. So this way you can get someone in to read an SEO optimized blog, and within that blog, you can put your lead magnet, meaning you can put a call to action in there for someone to download something or to take the next step with you of booking a call. So this is just another way to market your business. In addition to these blog posts, if you are regularly putting out blog posts, you can nurture relationships. So it's kind of like your emails. You are nurturing relationships because people are getting a inside view of what you do, what you're about, what your business is about. They are getting to know you through reading your words. Okay, so let's just briefly go over what a blog post needs to have. Obviously, we need to have a great headline. We do want to make sure that we are doing our research for SEO before we start blogging. And one of my favorite tools, which I'll mention down below a little bit later on, is Robinize. That helps me find keywords, helps me look at competitors and everything else. But whatever it is that you use, just make sure you're actually looking at keywords so that way you can write blogs based upon those keywords so you can get ranked in search engines, okay? But those headlines are going to have those keywords in it, right? You want those headlines to grab attention, spark curiosity, and accurately reflect the content. So you don't want it to have some bogus headline just to get people in on your blog. And people don't even want to read your blog at this point because your headline is not congruent to what your actual blog post was about, right? We don't want any clickbaity titles. From there, you want to make sure you have an introduction. So you need to hook the reader in the first few sentences and let them know what's coming with this particular blog post. Then you go into the body of the blog and deliver on your promise. So whether or not that's you giving a list of the 10 top places to visit in Dallas, Texas, or you are writing the recipe, whatever it is, you give it to them in that body, right? And I mentioned this earlier, is that call to action. You want to make sure you have call to action within every blog. So do you want them to go ahead and sign up for your newsletter? Do you want them to check out your latest course? Do you want them to book a call? Whatever it may be, go ahead and put that in your blog post. All right, so finding your groove with blogging. I know this is going to be tedious if you think about writing and you're not proficient in writing or you don't like writing. Yes, it can be intimidating when you're looking at blogging and staying on top of things, right? So with that being said, you want to make sure that you are coming up with topics that your audience wants. You're doing the keyword research, like I mentioned, doing the competitor analysis. I also mentioned that. Also, you need to go ahead and plan your content calendar. So I'm not saying you need to blog 3 times a week, 5 days a week, whatever it may be, but 4 times a month, 8 times a month, that's good, okay? So we can do this by planning those posts in advance on your content calendar. And you can also do this with the help of tools that are going to help you write your blogs faster as well, okay? Mentioned SEO optimization earlier, but just within your blog itself, you need to make sure you're using those relevant keywords, not just in your headline, but you need to use them naturally throughout all of your blog posts. And if you use a certain tool, it will tell you if you're using your keyword enough or not enough, okay? So that kind of helps you there. Okay, so you also want to make sure to optimize your meta descriptions, your title tags, and your image alt text. So those are within the actual blog post itself. When you are actually creating it, there will be options and places for you to put in those meta descriptions, title tags, and the image alt text. So this one here is just basically talking about whenever you put images in your blog post, which I highly suggest. So it's not just words, putting those images in and then having an alt text, because that helps with SEO as well, okay? And then building backlinks from other reputable websites, that's linking to other places, getting backlinks from other places as much as you can. Also linking within your own website. So it's a little difficult to explain, to conceptualize, but my blog is connected to my website, but we also want to have links back to my website, if that makes any sense. So if you go to the Studio 822 blog and you read a couple blog posts, you'll see that I have backlinks back to the original Studio 822, bringing somebody to the home page or bringing somebody to a product page or whatever else, okay? Okay, so blogging best practices. So consistency, like I said earlier, we need to make a content calendar and we need to stick with it. And also, after you get those posts published, you do want to promote those posts. So I do promote my posts on social media. I share those on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that you're promoting your posts. I also share them in my Content Bite newsletter. You can share them elsewhere, like on online communities. An example of this would be Medium. I do share posts on Medium. And then next, if you get any comments on your blog post, you do want to engage, just like with any other social media channel. Someone's commenting on your Facebook post, you want to actually respond to them. The same thing with your blog. If someone actually takes time to write a response to your blog post, then try to respond back to them, okay? Also, you want to track your results. And the way you can do this is using analytics to see what's working. So you can use Google Analytics and it'll tell you what blog posts people are reading, how long they're staying on the page, what pages they are visiting on your website, period. So just make sure you are using analytics to track your results, okay? Okay, so I did tell you earlier I was going to write down some tools that would make your life easier. And obviously, number one is WordPress. My blog is on WordPress. I know there are a lot of other places that you can actually host your blog, but WordPress is pretty much the OG on this. I do not have my website on WordPress, but I have my blog on WordPress. So my website is on ShowUp, blog is on WordPress, but I do like just blogging on WordPress because it's user-friendly, number one, and then you have a lot of plugins that people recommend that you get, and it's very easy to put those in and update and everything else. Okay, so Yoast SEO is a plugin that I do recommend you use when you have your blogs. simply because this is going to help optimize your posts for the search engines. And I don't have the paid Yoast. I only use the free one, and it works just well. It works just fine. So it will tell me if I have used a keyword too little within my blog post, or it will tell me if I've used the keyword too much. It will let me know. It will remind me that I need to add in links to my own site. It will remind me that I need to put an alt text. It does all of that. And so once you actually meet the requirements, it will give you a green light. So obviously it starts at red, just like the traffic lights. It will go to like orange or yellow when you're like medium, and then it'll go to green once you've hit all the SEO things that will make your post completely optimized. So I do like that. So every time I write a post, I try to make sure all my posts are on green for the SEO. Okay, and I've talked about Robinize a lot. So Robinize is really, really cool. So it does help you with keyword research, number one, and it also helps you look at competitors. So the cool thing about Robinize is that you can actually put in the website of a competitor, and you can see all of the keywords that particular competitor is ranking for. And on top of that, it will give you the ranking score of those keywords to see how easy it is for you to overtake them and for you to start ranking for that particular keyword. It will give you a score saying if it's easy or difficult to rank for that particular keyword. So I do like this tool. This is an awesome tool. In addition to that, this tool will also help you write your blog post. So say for instance, you've picked out a keyword, you figured out what phrase you're going for, and you are, looking at your competitors and say, okay, yeah, I can rank for this. You can go ahead and generate a outline based upon that competitor or a series of competitors' blog posts. You can generate an outline and generate like a rough draft of your blog. And Robinize is going to do pretty much the same thing that Yoast SEO is going to do. It's going to give you a ranking. And so while you're writing and optimizing and changing some things around within that blog post, it's going to give you eventually a green light saying that you've met certain criteria to make this as SEO optimized as possible. And in addition to that, so this actually helps me write faster, considering the fact that it will generate an outline for me. I can look at the competitors, I can look at the keywords, and it will also help me write with AI. So as a writer, as an old school writer, I guess I have to say old school, writing since 2013, AI has been a threat to some people in the writing community, and I embrace it. So AI is not the end all be all, but it's a great tool to help. So of course, I am writing these blog posts with the help of AI, but I am also changing a lot of stuff around because it does not sound like me. And I want to make sure, number one, it sounds like me, and number two, make sure everything's factually accurate and everything else. So this has helped write blog posts really, really fast. And I will say with your blog posts, when you are actually creating your content calendar, I kind of should have mentioned this a little bit earlier, but with blog posts, you want to make sure you have content blocks. So you have like 4 or 5 different subjects that you talk about. And then from those subjects, you branch off. So that way you have enough to actually talk about. So these are either called like blocks or content pillars. So say for instance, I was talking about social media marketing, branding, content marketing, and digital products. So say for instance, those were my 4 main categories. So out of those 4 main categories or pillars, I can branch off into a lot of other things. So with social media, I could branch off in doing blog posts on Facebook, doing blog posts on Instagram, doing blog posts on YouTube, on LinkedIn. So that gives me a lot of different topical and topic ideas right there. Okay. So going back down to these tools, since I went on a tangent here, the last one is Grammarly. I've had Grammarly Premium for years, simply because being a writer, I want to make sure, my writing's great as far as grammar, as far as spelling. It's been very helpful. So this is basically a software that will track you and follow you around the internet. So whenever you're doing things on the internet, it's going to check your writing. So as you can see, I have like a red line here. So this is Grammarly, and it's telling me to correct the subject verb agreement. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you'll overwrite it, but you can also go into the Grammarly software itself and actually copy and paste a document or upload a document and edit it from there. So I do like Grammarly for the reason that, it pretty much tracks everywhere I'm at and it helps with my writing. Okay. So with that being said, this was a section on blogging. Make sure when you are doing your content marketing strategy that you take another look at blogging and seriously consider blogging for your business.
All right, so now we are at the point where I love to talk about is Pinterest and basically how to drive traffic to your offers and to your site with Pinterest. So Pinterest is a powerhouse that is often underestimated, and people are either really confused by the platform, don't know how to use it, or think it's very time consuming to get any kind of traction. And I want to let you know that no, it's not. So it is intimidating when you first start, but it does take a little bit of time to learn. But once you've got it, it's very easy to implement it for your own business. So this is my profile here. And at the time of recording this video, this profile had been dead for, I want to say, about 2 years. And I just started posting back on this profile about 6 months ago. And as you can tell, I have only 59 followers, but the follower count does not matter on Pinterest. And I have about 17,000 monthly views right now. So that means 17,000 people are viewing my content, viewing my pins, and hopefully clicking through, okay? So as you can see, this is my Pinterest board, and you're going to want to create pins for everything you have. So I create pins for YouTube videos. I create pins for my products. I create pins for my software. I create pins for my blogs. Everything that you are trying to promote, you can promote it on Pinterest, okay? And you're just going to have to create a pin for it and go ahead and upload it here on Pinterest. So one thing I do want to tell you about Pinterest is you want to keep things kind of cohesive. You want to make sure you have your branding on point. As you can see, a lot of my pins follow a trend here with the design. They have my brand colors. They just look like my brand, okay? So you don't want to do anything that is really off and really weird from your brand, from your normal brand, okay? So my profile is already set up, but when you get in and set up a Pinterest profile, you want to make sure that is a business profile, because if you don't have a business profile, you're not going to be able to see the analytics, okay? With a personal profile, people are just pinning about, decorating and gardening and things of that nature. They do not care about their analytics. But as a business owner, you do care about your analytics. You care about how many people are clicking on your pins. You care about how many people are saving pins, how many people are liking pins. You'll be able to see all of that with a business account. So this is what this looks like with the business account, because you can see down here, if someone has clicked, if someone's pinned it, how many people have viewed it. So these are the impressions. This right here is sortpin.com. This is an additional plugin, a Chrome plugin that I put in. And basically what SortPin does is it shows you, how old it is. You can share it. You can actually look at other people's pins. So obviously these are my pins because it's my profile, but you can look at other people's pins, see how many times their pins have been pinned or reshared or anything else like that. So it's good for research as well. I'm going to go ahead and take you guys in on the back end. So I'm going to go ahead and click edit profile. But when you go ahead and set up your Pinterest business account, you're going to want to put in a cover image here. And you're also going to want to put in your photo or something that represents your brand. And then your name. So if your name is, whatever your name is, your brand name, and your business, you can do that. I chose to brand myself. So I have Nicole Johnson here with the content marketing and strategy versus Studio 822. But as you can see with all of my pins, they actually have Studio 822 on them. So the pins are actually branded. You can't see because I have the sort pin here, but here's some pins that you can see that has Studio 822 on it. But I have my face up here as the face of the brand because you'll also see that I post short videos here. So I post everything, like I said, short videos. I even post YouTube videos. It'll take me a while to scroll down to find some YouTube videos for you, but you can post everything on Pinterest. So let me go ahead and click this and show you what this is going to look like on the back end. So when you first start, and even if you want to update it at any time, this is how you update it. You're updating your profile. You can change that small little image there in the middle, put in your name. I suggest using something that has some keywords in it. So Nicole Johnson is not necessarily a keyword, but I do get brand recognition when people type in my name in Google like that. But then we also have content marketing and strategy. So if you do social media marketing, content marketing, anything like that, I suggest putting that keyword in there simply because Pinterest is going to be able to pick that up because Pinterest is not a social media platform. It is a search engine, okay? And put in your little about me section, put in your website, and then your username is going to be something different, and your email address, okay? So that's as simple as that for you actually getting your profile set up, but I'm going to show you a couple other things. So if we go here, if we click on this share button, you can actually share your profile if you want it, okay? And then also here, this is where you put in your cover image. So when you first start, obviously it's blank, so you're gonna have to go to Canva or someplace like that to get a cover image. And once again, I would go ahead and put in keywords for your cover image. So you see that I have content marketing everywhere because I want people to know that I'm a content marketer. Okay, so when you are adding pins, I do not add pins manually. I add my pins through a pin scheduler called Pin Generator. Sometimes I pin directly from my editing software, and sometimes I pin through my blog, okay? So I'll put pins on my actual blog post. So there's 3 different ways that I pin. So you can pin manually, but it's gonna take a long time for you to get any kind of traction if you are pinning manually, okay? The way I've been able to get Pinterest up to 17,000 views in 6 months, actually, I got it up to 16,000 views within 6 weeks, and I let it dip because I hadn't been pinning. The reason being is because I was using a pin scheduler, okay? Another reason is because you'll see on my profile these short videos. So short videos perform very well. They are called idea pins on Pinterest. So idea pins perform very well because people like visuals, they like videos. Even though this is just a plain and simple talking head video taken from some of my YouTube videos, as you can see, people are clicking on this. So this means right here, someone has clicked on this video. Someone's clicked on this video. Someone loves this video. And this is the impressions here that you'll see. So these get a lot of traction as well. Okay, and you may think, oh my goodness, there's only some of these videos only have 16 views or 18 views or whatever, but that's all the more power. It only had 16 views, but I still got 1 click. 18 views, but I still got 1 click. And these videos are going to be here forever, and they're going to pull up on organic traffic. What you don't see on the back end is when you put in a pin, you see the cover image and you see the title, right? So say for instance, we have one here that you can read this one actually. Social Pop, automating your social success. So you see that, and apparently 2 people were interested enough to click on this because it's very interesting image. You want to have appealing visual images. You want people to want to click on your pins, okay? So you do that with both the copy and the visuals, okay? And I'm going to show you a couple more pins down here. So these are static images. These couple of these pins are actually videos. So like for instance, this is a video placed within a regular pin. It's not an idea pin. It's a video within a regular pin. And as you can see, this video has gotten me 2 clicks. Only 35 views, but 2 clicks because they were looking at this video. The same one over here, 1 click, 53 views, okay? So keep that in mind, that video will most likely always outperform than static pins. Okay. Another thing is that on the back end of these pins, there is information. So you are putting in a description, you are putting in information, and it's a little odd to get here. So I'll show you how to actually get to a pin. So these are all the pins that I've created, and put on my board. So you actually have to hit the saved button, which is a little odd. But you hit the save button, and then here's where you can see all of my boards. Another strategy of Pinterest that you need to know is that you need to create boards. I would say if you're starting out, you create at least 10 boards, okay? And these boards are going to serve as like little content buckets. So as example, I have a board on affiliate marketing. Actually, this is a group board, excuse me. I have AI tools for content. I have Amplify Your Brand. That's my YouTube channel. I have books for business, business finance tips, email marketing, femtech, health. I have different content buckets, okay? And so within those content buckets, you are saving and you are also pinning pins. So pinning your own pin. And so when you go to the saved button, what you do all the way over here on the right hand side is you are going to hit the plus sign, and it's going to ask you to create a pin. So a regular pin is a static pin, okay? It's like one of these pins that I showed you earlier. It's not my idea pin. So I want to say the static pins, you can put video in them, but they are set up differently. So the idea pins are just like what I showed you here, my talking head videos, my little shorts. Those are idea pins. And then pins are just the designs here that I have, and then you have a static image, or you could have a video in the background. Like I said, those videos get a lot of impressions, okay? Or you can actually create a board. So if I were to click this button, it's going to ask me to create a board. And these boards, let's see. You should optimize your boards, and I'll say you should, because I have not quite done that. I haven't taken the time to do that for every single one of these boards, but that will also help you with the SEO. So let me see if I actually have one that is optimized. I don't think I do, because these are fairly new boards. But let's go ahead and click on something, okay? So I'm going to click on the Sales Funnel Strategy board. Okay, and as you can see, we just have a couple pins that I've already pinned. These are all my pins. The only one here is not mine. It's this one down here. But what we can do with these individual boards, and you want to make sure the boards also have keywords in them too, right? What we can do with these individual boards is you can actually write a description. Like I have not done that. So I'm trying to tell you not to be like me, because this is a fairly new board. But you can write a description, because when you write a description, you have keywords, and it's more for that search engine to actually find you, okay? And if you all want to be fancy and neat, you can also put a board cover on for each of your boards to make it look all cohesive and neat and on brand. Maybe when I get time to do that, like I really care, I would do that. But at this point, Pinterest is doing really well for me without that. So
I have not taken the time to do that. So long story short, do as I say, not as I do. Go ahead and put your keywords in your description. Go ahead and put your keywords in your title. Go ahead and put a little fancy board cover if you want, but just make sure you're using keywords, okay? Let me see. What else can I show you guys? So that's pretty much about it. I'm going to show you the back end of what things look like. So once you have a business account, and like I said, you can't do this with a personal account. You have to have a business account. You'll be able to see those analytics. If you already have a personal account, I would say to start a new business account. It's not going to hurt you. You don't want to mix the business with the personal, because you want Pinterest to know who to show your content to. And if you had a personal account and you posted for years about, redecorating your home, and then now all of a sudden you're doing business stuff, it's going to confuse the algorithm, and it's going to not allow you to get as much traction as you should get, okay? So, long story short, go ahead and set up a business account. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on the back end, because you're going to want to see all these analytics, okay? So the business hub starts up here where, you can go back to your public profile, which we were just on. Basically what this is showing me for the last 30 days that my account has grown. So you see the trend, it's going up. And we also have saves. So saves are when someone actually clicks on one of your pins and then they save it to your board. So this is the last 30 days. In the last 30 days, I've had outbound clicks of 323. And this is absolutely amazing, you guys, because this is a little less than 6 months, because I think I started around Thanksgiving. And I remember when this number was in the teens. And this number has done nothing but continuously gone up month after month. And as you can see, I only have 17,000 monthly views, but I'm consistently getting outbound clicks, and I'm consistently getting people to save my pins. I'm consistently getting people on my email list, all because of Pinterest. So this is the stuff that you're going to see. This is the stuff you're going to want to see and want to know about once you start using Pinterest for your business, okay? So you can come back in here and you can check by, engagements, impressions, outbound clicks, saves, all of that. And Pinterest, to me, I've noticed it's a couple days off. It's a couple days behind. So if you are looking at your stuff in Google Analytics and with a brand new account, you will start to see stuff coming from Pinterest before you see it here, if that makes any sense. So I've noticed that Pinterest is a couple days off as far as the metrics are concerned. So don't be alarmed if you're pinning and you're not seeing much traction or anything else like that. It's a couple days behind, but it does take a little bit of time before you start seeing things. And so when you are pinning, what I'm doing now, like I said, I have a variety of ways that I do pin, but a majority of it is through Pin Generator. And once I have enough content, because I like to batch my content and have a group of content, I will go ahead and create 25 to 50 to 100 pins per item. Like if I have a blog post, if I really, really, really want to promote that blog post, I'm going to make 100 pins, and I'm going to schedule those pins through the scheduler. If it's something that's like, oh, I don't really care, I should promote it, I'm probably going to make about 20 pins. And the way that the pin generator works is when you make those pins, you can choose what boards your pins are going to go to. So if you make one pin and you want to pin that pin to 5 different boards, it's actually 5 pins. So if you think about it, if I'm making 25 pins for a piece of content and I decided to post it to 5 different boards, it is actually being repurposed and repinned 125 times, right? So keep that in mind, that you are pinning on different boards just to increase your reach, okay? Because you're not going to want to pin to the same board all the time. You're not going to want to pin one thing at a time. Pinterest loves pins, basically. So Pinterest loves pins. You are going to need to do something as far as getting your visuals up, getting your pins out there. So I will say with a brand new account and you have never pinned on Pinterest before, that you should probably take it slower in the beginning. I did start out by, honestly, I did start out by pinning 100 pins every blog post. I did do that. But this account here is not a brand new account. So even though it lay dormant for a while, it wasn't a brand new account. But with brand new accounts, I would probably only do 5 pins a day for a couple weeks and then bump that up to 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 until you get to that number of at least 25 pins per day. Okay? So that was my overview here on Pinterest. I hope you enjoyed it, enjoy pinning, and enjoy that organic traffic coming through. And once you get on, I really think you'll actually enjoy Pinterest knowing that it's free traffic and that this is going to work for a very long time, considering it's a search engine and not a social media platform.
If you're a busy entrepreneur struggling with content creation and trying to figure out how to fill your social media schedule, you need to watch this video. Many people are unaware of how you can actually take one video and repurpose it so you'll have content across your social media calendar basically for the entire month. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take one video and repurpose it multiple ways. Wait a minute. I'm about to break down 5 ways you can repurpose a single video. But you can easily 5 times that by grabbing my video content multiplier checklist that will keep you on track when repurposing a video. Grab the free checklist at studio822.com/VCM checklist so you can start working smarter and not harder. Now back to the regularly scheduled programming. My name is Nicole Johnson and I help online entrepreneurs amplify their brand through books and YouTube. So let's go ahead and get into today's content. You can record 4 YouTube videos per month and basically have content for the entire month and beyond. I say 4 because you want to at least try to post 1 video per week on YouTube, but when you multiply everything and repurpose, you can actually have more than 4 weeks worth of content from these 4 videos. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can actually repurpose a single video into different pieces of content. But before we get into the 5 ways that you can actually repurpose your content, I want to tell you that it all begins in how you actually record your videos. Meaning that when you are recording your 4 long form pieces of content per month for YouTube, you need to make sure at the end of those videos that you're recording a couple pieces for your short form content. Meaning if you're active on TikTok, Instagram, or maybe if you do something as far as Pinterest stories, those are all vertical videos and you can actually record those right after your long form videos to save you time. So that is one piece of it, but just keep in mind that we're going to go into a little bit more detail on how to repurpose a little bit more. Now that we have the video recording aspect out of the way, I'm going to show you how to repurpose those 4 pieces of video content. Number 1. Right off the bat, I'm going to say the first thing that you can do with your video content is actually turn it into written word. The way we turn it into written word is getting it transcribed. One of the best apps to do this, and you can actually use this app for free, is Descript. You can import a video and it's going to give you a transcription of everything you said. So this transcription is going to give you a baseline for pretty much everything that you can do on social media. So after you have this transcription, the very first thing that you can do with your video is obviously send that video as an email to your email list. So now that you have the transcription of your video, we're not rehashing your video word for word. So you can take that transcription and you can pull out aspects from your video and embed that into your email. Your email list will appreciate you sending them your videos because some people on your email list may not even be subscribed to your YouTube channel. And then another thing with your YouTube videos, these are probably more than likely educational videos and helpful facts, and your email list is wanting to hear from you. So you can take those 4 videos that you recorded for YouTube and send 4 separate email messages to your email subscribers. The next piece of content that can be easily repurposed from video is an actual blog. So we're taking that transcription that you have again, and we are rewriting it and pulling out those highlights of your video, and we're embedding your video onto your blog. So now we have 4 blog posts, and we also have 4 emails stemming all from those 4 YouTube videos that you recorded earlier. Okay, the next piece of content are your short form pieces of content or your vertical videos. Like I mentioned earlier, when you are recording your long form videos, you want to make sure you are putting vertical videos in at the end of your recording process. So these videos are going on your Instagram, they're going on TikTok, they're going on YouTube Shorts, wherever you do vertical videos, that's where they're gonna go. So you can upload these to each individual site, and you can customize them on, TikTok, on Instagram, on Pinterest, wherever you're putting them, you can customize them, and they're gonna look a little different on each site and each platform depending on where you post. But this is gonna be an easy way to get that short form content out of the way. So let me know in the comment what your favorite app is to actually post or view short form content. Is that TikTok? Is that YouTube? Is that Instagram? Let me know in the comments. The 4th way that you can repurpose your videos is, once again, we're going to take that transcript that you created, and you can go ahead and pull multiple quotes from each video. So say for instance, you have a video and you can pull out 5 to 6 quotes. Those are 5 to 6 days worth of content that you can schedule on your content calendar. And you can put that Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to put that. You can make it look pretty by going to Canva and designing that and then scheduling it on your content calendar. The 5th way to actually repurpose your videos is that some social media platforms actually allow you to fully repurpose your YouTube video on their platform. So for example, I have my videos posted on YouTube, and then I have a Zap that directly posts my video on Facebook as well. So therefore, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So every time a video is uploaded on YouTube, whether that's a long form video or a short form video, it goes automatically to Facebook. You can set up a Zap like that if you use Facebook. But there are other social media channels that allow you to post full videos as well. I know Pinterest's limit is 15 minutes. So if you have a video that's less than 15 minutes, you can post the full video there. I believe Instagram is 10 minutes, so you can post a full video there. And this goes on with whatever platform you're more active on. So if you're active on LinkedIn, figure out how long their videos can be, and you can post directly on there as well. So that is a 5th way that you can actually repurpose this content. So now that you know of all the different ways that you can repurpose a single video, how are you going to repurpose your YouTube videos? Remember, you don't have to do everything, and I have left some things out because there are just so many different ways that you can repurpose content from a single video. It's all going to be dependent on what type of business you have and how much time you have. Because although we are recording 4 videos and we're repurposing from those 4 videos, it still takes time to publish them on the other sites. So don't get overwhelmed. Publish on the social media sites that you're most active on. You do not have to publish on 20 different sites, but just know that you don't have to keep creating new content. You're taking those 4 videos, repurposing them how you want to repurpose them, and then putting them on those other platforms. Okay, so if you found this video helpful and you'd like more information and content like this, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and check out the other videos that I actually have on the screen, and I'll see you on the next video. So what is authority content and why do you need to have it in your business? In this video, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about authority building content and how it can actually help you make more money in your business. If you're new here, welcome to Amplify Your Brand. My name is Nicole Johnson, and I help entrepreneurs build their brand through books and YouTube. Let's go ahead and get into the video content. Authority building content is meant to position you as the expert. If you don't know what authority building content is, don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and get into what authority building content is not first before you get into authority building content. So what authority building content is not, it is not the number of subscribers you have on YouTube, the number of followers you have on Instagram or Facebook, the number of people who actually like your post. That is not authority building content. All of those metrics and all of those numbers are basically just for vanity. They're vanity metrics and they don't do you any good. It just kind of makes you feel good. And maybe someone who comes by and looks at your profile will be a little impressed that you have so many likes or followers or subscribers. But what authority building content actually is things like books, things like actually having a YouTube channel and educating your audience through videos, having something like a white paper that you distribute to potential clients, having something like speaking gigs and workshops and courses. All of those are authority building content, and it's very important as a business owner that you start focusing more on authority building content than vanity metrics. Authority building content tells people whatever kind of content that it is that you are the expert on that subject matter. It tells them that you took time to put together a book, record videos, have speaking engagements, or whatever it may be, that you are the actual expert on that particular subject. You actually took somebody from A to Z and had some type of transformation and showed them that you can educate them on whatever it is that they're looking for. If you haven't realized by now, authority building content is vital for your business. The two pieces of content that I personally recommend, and the only two pieces of content that most business owners need, is a book and a YouTube channel. Before we go any further, if you've ever thought about writing a book or starting a YouTube channel for your business, drop book or YouTube down in the comments below. Writing a book immediately places you in expert status. If you don't believe me, then why is it that so many business mentors and so many top name business executives actually have books under their name? Think about Russell Brunson, Dan Henry, Myron Golden. Pretty much anybody that you look up to in business, they have a book. I'm telling you, they did not write their book because it was on their bucket list, or it was a lifelong dream, or whatever you may think it is. 9 times out of 10, they wrote that book to showcase their authority and build brand awareness. The second piece after the book is that you need a YouTube channel. On your YouTube channel, you're going to be speaking about what you spoke about in your book, but the YouTube channel is a little bit more personal because in videos, people can see your personality, they'll be able to see how you interact, they'll be able to see your little quirks and everything, things that people can't pick up on with a book. So both are going to showcase your expertise, but people may be more drawn to one or another. So therefore the book or the video. I can tell you from firsthand experience that I have had people contact me from reading a book that I wrote many, many years ago, or by watching one of my YouTube videos. But when you combine the book and a YouTube channel, you are going to be so much further ahead of your competition, and you are going to be able to leave a legacy through these videos, through this book, that goes on and on for many years to come, versus you just posting something random on social media like a meme or a quote or something that's just going to get lost in the feed within 24 to 48 hours. So if you do not have a book or a YouTube channel It does sound daunting. It sounds like it's probably near impossible to get this done. But I do want to let you know that it's not. And there are a lot of people now, like I said, about those high-level entrepreneurs and people that you probably look up to, but there are actually a lot of YouTubers, really high-level YouTubers that have millions of subscribers. And you would think that they have enough brand authority and that they're doing great things, but a lot of them now are actually starting to realize that writing a book is one of the best things that you can do for your brand. So there are a lot of big YouTubers now that actually have books or are publishing books. So a couple that come to mind are Roberto Blake, and then we have Sean of Think Media, and then Diana Gladney. There are just so many YouTubers that have grown and expanded on YouTube, and now they're coming around and realizing that they actually need a book as well. So you'll be so much further ahead of the game if you write a book and you have a YouTube channel and you're starting this about the same time and you have both, so that way you don't have to go into one or another later on down the line. By having both, you will set you and your business up for success for many years to come. So let's go back to what a book actually does for you. Like I said, we had all these high-level entrepreneurs and all these people that have tons and tons of YouTube subscribers writing books now. And the reason being is because it builds their authority. With building your authority, it will bring you more leads. You will be able to charge more than your competition. They will be more likely to choose you over your competition, even if your competition may have more experience or maybe they have more vanity metrics than you and have more subscribers or followers somewhere, but they will more than likely choose you versus your competitor simply because you have that book. Another thing about writing a book is that it expands your income streams in so many different ways. I know everyone's excited talking about money, so let's just go ahead and look at a few ways that you can actually make money off of your book. Obviously, when you write a book and you sell a book, you're going to have some type of profit from that. If you're selling your books on Amazon, your profits are going to be less than if you sell your book on your own. But nonetheless, that's going to be profit for you. Let's take it a step further and see how your money can actually multiply from one single book. So as an example, I've written a ton of books. So I've written over 30 to date, and a lot of them have been repurposed into other income streams. Take, for example, the textbook that you see behind me. That came from a series of books that I wrote between the years of 2017 and 2019, I believe. So I compiled those books into a textbook, and those books that the textbook came from are actually still in publication, so I make money off of those. I make money off of the textbook, and I also have apps that are related to the textbook and the book series. In addition to that, I also have a journal that has stemmed from the book series and that textbook. That also brings me an additional income stream. So that is simply from one book. I'll say it's a series of books, but they're all the same basically. But you can do the same thing with your single book, because your book can be divided up in so many different ways. Yes, your book may not be as technical as mine. You may not be going over medical terminology or anything else like that, but you can actually create courses. You can create workshops. You can repurpose those books into videos on YouTube. You can repurpose your book in so many different ways and make money from that single book. So let's move on to YouTube. So YouTube, you have your streams of income from YouTube that are similar to the ones that you have when you write a book, but there are some other things that can come from YouTube. So As a YouTuber, you can actually make money with courses and workshops, and you can sell your book passively through your YouTube channel by putting it down in the description. But you can also make money off of sponsorships, brand deals, and if you get accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, you can start making money off of AdSense. So this all starts to snowball little by little by little until you're making a significant amount of money. In addition to that money that you are making, remember, if you have any type of service-based business like I do, people may either read your book or they may actually watch a video or two of you, and they will contact you if they feel like you know what they need and that you can help them. So imagine having two pieces of material working for you, marketing for you 24/7. Okay, and this isn't something that's going to go away in a couple hours after the virality has gone down, or 48 hours after the post has been posted. This will work for you many, many, many years to come. And remember, in addition to that, when you write a book and you publish it, and you also have a YouTube channel, when people start Googling things start to pop up on Google because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, in addition to being owned by Google. For those that are still caught up on the numbers and saying that, well, if I start a YouTube channel today, I'm not gonna have a lot of subscribers. Maybe no one will see my videos, or how is this really going to work? Just remember, you do not need 1,000 subscribers to make this work. You do not need 100,000 subscribers. You just need your small base of raving fans that come back to you time after time and want to actually do business with you. I know writing a book and starting a YouTube channel sounds like a huge feat. And if you don't know how to do any of that, it is. But I've put together everything in my Amplify Your Brand course that helps you write your book, start your YouTube channel, and start generating leads and sales from your YouTube channel and your book within 90 days. The Amplify Your Brand curriculum is a curriculum that takes you through everything that I know as someone who has written and published over 30 books. So we'll go through things like branding, setting up your YouTube channel, how to record your videos, how many videos you actually need to record and publish each month, and hint, it's not as much as you think, how to properly sell your book through a funnel and not on Amazon, so that way you can maximize your profits. So if you're interested in joining the Amplify Your Brand course, head on to studio822.com/amplify your brand and sign up. If you get there and there's a wait list, go ahead and sign up on the wait list, because the minute the course drops, everyone that's on the wait list will have an opportunity to get in at a deeply discounted price. And if the course is already open by the time you hit that landing page, then go ahead and join. I am determined to getting people writing their books to build their brand and help their business, and also start on YouTube. So if this is for you, go ahead and sign up. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to Amplify Your Brand, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.